I'm in the car because I've just been and done the big shop. A couple of years ago, a Canadian lady posted this, implying that because she's a parent, she shouldn't have to queue. And as you can imagine, it was met with the ridicule and backlash it so richly deserved. Now, I don't have children and I'm not trying to have a go at parents, but there's a certain type of parent, the people who act like because they have a child they're entitled to something that I cannot fucking stand. We all know people like this. The couple who've had their first child and walk around like they're demigods because he's spunked up her and her reproductive organs work and they act like there's something fucking special. Now, whilst I was queuing to get into the supermarket in the new norm of the lockdown, behind me I heard a woman's voice that said, "We want to come in front of you." So I turned around and there was a lady with her 2 children and I would guess her mother. And if she'd been polite, I might have considered getting out of the way, but instead, because there was no please, I said, "Why should I move for you?" And she said, "Well, I've got children." Well, so fucking what? So because she had who I presume was her mother with her, I asked, "Well, why didn't one of you stay at home with the children and just one of you go shopping to cut down the risk of infection?" And before she could answer, I said, "Because if you don't all live in the same household, you're breaking the rules of the lockdown." And I thought that would shut her up. So I turned away, but then she spoke again, saying, "Well, it's not like you've got a job, is it?" So I turned around, slightly angrier this time, and said, "I do have a job. Usually I work long hours in a hard job, but I'm furloughed at the minute." And I asked, "What do you do for a living?" And predictably, she said, "I'm a full-time mother." Fuck off! The word she is looking for is unemployed. I cannot stand the people who have children and expect the rest of us to fucking pay for them. And it's not the first time something like this has happened. Last time I went to the supermarket, God knows when that was, I encountered the family of morons. And we've all met the family of morons. There's one of them in every fucking supermarket. 5 or 6 of them, they're usually morbidly obese. And I can say that because I'm a portly fucker myself. But they'll be wandering around, taking up the whole aisle so you can't practice social distancing. One of them's already eating. They've got a pack of sausage rolls that they're ramming it in the face because they can't wait to get to the fucking checkout. Another one will be coughing and then touching everything. But whilst I was shopping the last time, I felt my trolley starting to move. So I looked down and noticed a snot-covered child pulling on it. So I looked around and said, "Excuse me, who owns this?" And this fat lass looked at me. When I say fat, you know when their elbows look like a shock absorber because the fat's rolling over it? Anyway, she said, "That's my fucking son." So I looked at her and said, "Control your fucking kid, love." And then her dad, well, he said he was a dad, he might have been a brother or a cousin or whatever. He said, "You won't speak to my fucking daughter like that." So I looked at him for a moment and said, calmly, "What are you going to do about it, you fat cunt?" And then he backed down because if you have a problem with confrontation, grow a beard and get lots of tattoos and people leave you alone. So yes, if you are a parent, I'm very happy for you, but don't act like you're God's fucking gift.